Y'all, General Electric Whirlpool is not making the quality. I've got air conditioners, window units I've owned for 20 years. I put them in my small sheds, and they're still going. Well, I've owned this one for about 2 years. It's an 8,000 BTU unit, and I make sure I keep the filter clean and the coils clean. It's very, very difficult to get back behind this coil right here, condenser coil. You got to get back behind here. You can't just clean the front of the coil. You got to get back there and clean all this. Well, it's next to impossible to get back behind the condenser coil. You know that this bracket for this fan motor, you know those screws are rusty. You must have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 screws that you got to take off just to remove this. So I decided to do like the fella did on the YouTube. Take my Dremel tool and cut the top of this off. Not gonna hit the coils, where I can get back behind there and wash behind those coils. Okay, I took it off. Here it is. Goes just like this. I'll put it back on there. Gorilla Tape works wonders. After I clean this out. Look at all this. Look at all this. This is unreal. And you ain't gonna get back there. You gotta have a way to get back there. Well, by golly, I do now. Alright, that's the way you handle that. Once you get it to this point, you've got to disconnect this wire to this power board or that little PCB board. What you got to do is you got to release this little retainer pin right here. Just back it out. Just back it out. Try not to lose it. Okay, I'm backing it out. Yeah, boy. Okay. Anyway, it's like on a car where you got to pull the little pin out, and then where you smash ends on the very back side, so you got to feel for it and pull out at the same time. I know that's aggravating. Then you got to go up here and release these wires, and then set that aside, cover all this, and then go clean this thing out. And you got to do this once a year. Go ahead and check your components while you're in here. This may be some type of voltage regulator. Check your capacitors. Check this big old capacitor. I believe it runs the compressor and the fan motor. You're going to have to release all of this, and of course discharge that capacitor before you test it. You got to take these 2 screws out of the top of here, and there's a big screw down here that goes in right there. Anyway, you got to check that capacitor, but first you've got to drain it, discharge it, and you want to check each one of these components too, and the temperature sensor while you're in there. All these parts checked out, the capacitors, resistors, I didn't bother with that, voltage regulators. This is a transformer. Rarely do they go out. I'm not worried about that. As a rule, these capacitors are cheap. It's worth investing. You know, I don't have a Freon sensor, but it's, you know, why not? Go ahead and get a capacitor. And the thing isn't very old. And clean it up, finish cleaning it up, and order this and see if it works. Put all that back together, covered up real good with aluminum foil. Don't get any water in that. Let's take this on outside, and you can hose all this off without getting water in there. And then let it dry out and order your part and see if it works and go from there. I wanted to show y'all how much debris is down in there, that if I would not have cut this top part off, I couldn't clean behind there. Alright, everything's pretty well sealed up. I'm going to be careful when I spray around here. I'm going to clean it off now. Okay, that's about as clean as I'm going to get it. And I think that's pretty darn clean. Pretty darn clean. Yep, look down in there. It's called planned obsolescence, folks. All your manufacturers, even your automotive, making your expensive items not last as long. You got to take care of them. You got to keep them clean. When they start running hot, they start blowing capacitors. I just hope that the condenser's not broken, and I hadn't lost a lot of Freon. Time will tell. I'll get a capacitor and we'll go from there. But that was about a $300 unit, and it's not but 2 years old, and it's hard to find anybody to work on them. So there you have it.